Hi folks, Donnie D here. In part 5 of my little video series on the restoration of the Mossberg 46B stock, I wanted to reblue a few of the little tiny uh, smalls or metal parts of the gun. All these little giblets that you see in here, mostly it's just a bunch of screws and a couple of mounting bolts for the barrel, and also a couple of sling mounts. What I did first to get them ready was I washed them in the cleaner degreaser. I then put them in an alcohol bath, which is what this is. Took them from the alcohol bath and put them in soak for maybe 3 or 4 minutes or 5 minutes in this glue and rust remover in another little container. I then took them out of that solution and I guess you call cleaned them or brushed them with my Dremel tool and a little grinding, not grinding, but little buffing wheel. It's sort of a, I don't know what it is, a fiberglass or something. It's not metal, but it's a good way to get the rust and stuff off of it and get them to where they're kind of clean looking like you see them there. Alright, because during all that process I was handling them with my bare hands, I then put them back into this alcohol bath. And now what I'm going to, now I've got my gloves on, as you see, because once you get to that final stage, just before you start your bluing, you want to make sure you don't touch them with your bare hands. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these parts out and just dip them into water to get the alcohol off of them. And get the alcohol out of the way. And as you see, I've got my bluing ready, and I've got it in a container so that when I knock it over, and I probably will, I won't spill all my product. So this is the perma blue. Just going to take the cap off of it. Yeah. Set it in the container so if I do knock it over, at least this container will catch it so I don't spill it. Alright, I'm going to start taking these parts out and drying them. You don't have to get them perfectly dry, just put them in a paper towel. In fact, some folks say, a couple of videos I watched to try to learn how to do this, said that having them a little damp helps. So I'm going to get those here, this little bolt here, this piece out as well, and set it right down here and start bluing it, and we'll see how it takes. It may not take worth a crap. But anyway, just take these Q-tips and let's see if it does what it's supposed to do. You should see, yep, you see how it changes immediately. So that means I've got it clean enough and got the rust and all off of it good enough to where it's going to blue. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to mop it on here and set the parts down each time. Yeah, this is turning pretty quick too. You can see it change color almost immediately. That's what you're looking for. It should, if it doesn't change color, at least to a certain extent, almost immediately, then you need to go back to buffing it with your wheel or using the bluing and rust remover to get any whatever's blocking the bluing. Now here we go again. I'll just touch it right to it, and you'll see it change color pretty quick. Mop it on there, and it says not to leave it on there for more than a minute, but to tell you the truth, I don't think that makes a whole lot of difference if you go over a minute a little bit. So what I'm going to do is let them sit a minute, a few seconds more while I take these screws, the rest of these screws and nuts out, and let them dry off a little bit. Okay, I just set them over here on a paper towel so they can sort of drain. Now that these have been sitting there close to a minute, I'm going to drop them into water to neutralize the stuff, the bluing. Dump these little small screws out on here and just do the same thing with them. I'm not worried too much about the shaft of the screw. It's going to be sunk down in the wood, so it's not going to matter too much on that. I'm just going to dab it on here, and you see it changes color, starts turning dark. pretty much immediately. Just do each screw. Sorry I keep getting out of the frame. I'm trying to do this by looking at through the viewfinder half the time and looking straight at the part half the time, and I forget what I'm doing. I'm not very good at this. I know y'all think I'm a trained professional, but well, maybe not. But anyway, I'm doing the best I can what I got to work with, which is a pea-sized brain. But anyway, let them sit a second or two, and I'm gonna pull these back out of the water and let them get them dried off a little bit. I'm drying them over here out of the viewfinder, out of the where you can't see it. 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. Alrighty, I'll leave it on here long enough to do this one more time, and you just keep repeating this process, mopping on the bluing, letting it stay on there for about a minute, throwing them in the water to neutralize the bluing process. Look at this here. Then take them back out of the water, dry them pretty much until you get the color you want. And once you get the color you want, you're going to wipe it down with some type of, they actually give you a, some kind of these wipes, you know, but oil wipes. Wipe over the parts and that allows them to cure up, and you're done. But anyway, I'll stop the video now. Next time you see a video, most likely it's going to be the gun fully assembled again. But there's my stock. I'm still putting coats on that. I think I'm up to coat number 5 of the Tru Oil, and you see it's starting to shine up pretty nice. It's going to look pretty good, I think. But anyway, next time you see it, next video will be 6, and I think that'll be the finished gun. This is Donnie D. I'll see you next time. Bye.